benefit sanctions don't work, and Westminster knows it. The Tory benefit sanctions regime has to be one of the worst things to ever come out of Westminster. I've heard truly harrowing stories from people right across the UK who've struggled to feed, clothe, look after themselves because the UK government has left them with absolutely nothing. As a new MP, I vowed to try and make some common sense changes to benefit sanctions. So last year I secured a private member's bill.
People feel anxiety. They're terrified.
This is a rare opportunity for backbench MPs to create a law. I simply wanted to ensure that a person's mental health, caring responsibilities and risk of homelessness were taken into account before a sanction could be applied. Now, of course, the bill was shot down. Very few Labour MPs showed up to support it, and the Tory minister proceeded to talk it out. Now, in Westminster, it's near impossible to pass any legislation unless you're in government, no matter how sensible that legislation may be. There are countless caveats and rules that the government can and will use to make it as difficult as possible for any bill to be successful. Many MPs feel it would be a pointless exercise to stay and vote, and I certainly hope that's the reason so many Labour MPs failed to turn up. Sanctions are cruel, and people face a postcode lottery. What's worse is that sanctions don't even work the way the Tories say they do. The National Audit Office found that benefit sanctions actually cause the vulnerable to fall into hardship, making it even harder to find work, and that sanctions actually cost more to administer than they save. The government must know this is completely contradictory. So that begs the question, what's the real reason they impose sanctions? Once you remove common sense, the only argument left is ideology. Sanctions are one of the clearest examples of the demonisation of the most vulnerable in society. The Conservative Party has always sought to cause division between people in order to prevent that very same society from uniting and holding those in positions of power to account, such as the wealthy few who actually caused the financial crash. Now, the Scottish Government has chosen to take a different path on this issue and will continue to pressurise Westminster to scrap this cruel system in the rest of the UK. Fundamentally, any government should not be making its own citizens destitute. That's exactly what this government is doing. It's not fiction, it's not exaggerated, and it's a reality for far too many people.